Welcome to science class, children. Today we will be doing with the chapter combustion and flame in a question answer method. Okay, so are you ready for that? Now, what is combustion? Burning of a substance in the presence of oxygen to give heat is called combustion. What are combustible substances? The substances which can undergo combustion are called combustible substances. What are the examples here? Coal, petrol, diesel, LPG, CNG, wood, paper, etc. are all combustible substances. Now here you can see images, isn't it? Wood, coal, LPG, kerosene. See, these are all combustible substances. In the picture given below, you are able to see sand and stones, no? So these are non-combustible substances. So the question is, are all substances combustible? No. Substances like iron, chalkpiece, pen, sand, stones, all these are not combustible, right? Now what are the conditions necessary for combustion? Three conditions are necessary for combustion. The first thing is the substance should be combustible. It should reach the ignition temperature. And the third requirement is oxygen. Any substance actually burns at its ignition temperature only. So the temperature should be raised to the ignition temperature, then it catches fire and starts burning. Okay. So what are the various types of combustion? Combustion are of three types: spontaneous, rapid and explosive. Now, what are inflammable substances then? Substance whose ignition temperature is very low catches fire very easily. So that is an inflammable substance. And examples here are LPG, petrol, diesel. Okay. Now, what is a fuel? A substance which burns to give energy is called fuel. Children, you are learning from home, you are attending online classes, isn't it? So why don't you make a list of substances around you? Classify them as combustible, non-combustible. In your house, you will have so many items, no? So classify them, and if it is a combustible substance, then try to identify what type of combustion it is. Can you do that? So do it like this. Now, a small activity for you. Children, take the help of your elders and do this activity. Don't burn your fingers while doing this, okay? So, materials required will be 2 paper cups, candle and water. What is the objective? Now, we want to see whether uh, water gets heated in the paper cup or the paper cup is burnt to ashes, okay? And on what basis are we trying to conduct this activity? Because the hypothesis is, see, when you take water in a paper cup and try to heat it, the heat which you supply is taken away by the water, so the water gets hot while the paper cup is not burnt to ashes. If water is not there, yes, then the paper will catch fire and it will burn to ashes. So what is the procedure? Now take water in a paper cup and with a holder you hold it over the candle flame for some time and then observe. And you can have another candle and hold empty paper cup with the holder and see what can happen, right? Now you see that when you try to take water and hold it over the candle flame, you observe that water is getting heated, isn't it? Whereas when water is not there, then yes, the paper cup catches fire. So again, that's what precautions I told you. Please don't burn your fingers. If you have a problem, please take the help of your elders. Now, conclusion is, in the first case, heat is transferred to water, so water burns, water becomes hot, okay. That is the first one. In second case, because there is no water, when you supply heat, paper cup is attaining its ignition temperature, so it catches fire and it is burnt to ashes, right? Now, we have learned that there are three types of combustions, isn't it? Now, how are these different from each other? So, the spontaneous combustion is when the substance burns spontaneously. You need not light it. It's catching fire automatically, it gives heat. So, phosphorus is one such substance which can burn spontaneously even at room temperature. Right? Now, next is rapid combustion. That is, you need to light it actually. But once you do that, then it produces light and heat. The burning of LPG, isn't it? आप घर में गैस स्टोव लगाते हैं तो that's what is rapid combustion. Okay. and LPG can catch fire automatically also. So inflammable substance है तो थोड़ा careful रहना पड़ता है, right? Now what is explosive then? Yes, Diwali के time पे crackers फोड़ते हैं ना, so that is explosive. That means in the case of explosive kind of a combustion, then the substance is burning to produce heat, light and also sound. Okay. Now let us understand the zones of a candle flame. So you have an outermost zone which is highly hot and it is blue in color. The middle zone is partial combustion zone and it is moderately hot. And the innermost zone is actually least hot with lot of unburnt wax and vapors. Okay. So this kind of knowledge is helpful in many ways. So if you have ever observed or tried to know how a goldsmith is trying to make ornaments out of the fine sort of strings of your gold, you see he has to bend the gold what to say, a rod kind of a thing or metal to make it into a design, isn't it? And he is going to use the hottest part or the outermost blue zone of the candle flame to do that. Clear? Uh, now, we have learnt previously that fuel is a substance actually which is combustible. And the combustible substance which gives energy, heat energy on burning is called fuel. So you have got three types of fuels: solid, liquid and gaseous. So solid fuel examples are coal, wood, etc. Liquid fuels, kerosene, petrol, diesel, etc. And gaseous fuel is CNG. The fire can be caused when a combustible substance catches fire. So if the cause of the fire is wood, paper, clothes, etc., it is called fire of type A, and this kind of fire can be put off by water. Now if the source of the fire is petrol, diesel, etc., that is a type B kind of fire, or if it is electric short circuit, then it is type C kind of fire. So B and C type fires, that means when the source of the fire is petrol, diesel or electric short circuits, then a fire extinguisher is compulsorily required. Now, why can't we use water? Suppose a fire is caused by electric circuit. Now, why can't we use water here? Children, water is not a very good conductor of electricity, but not, insulator also. So it is going to conduct water to certain extent. So if water is being used to put out fire which is caused by electric short circuit, then the person pouring water is likely to receive that shock. So water should not be used. The next point is, what if there is a fire caused by petrol and diesel and if someone is trying to pour water on that? Now if you see petrol and diesel, they are oily substances, liquids which are oil kind. So if you pour water, water forms a separate layer and still this petrol and diesel continue to burn. So water dalke, the fire is not put off. So what is the point in using water then? So compulsorily in these two situations, carbon dioxide fire extinguisher uses now is compulsorily required there. So carbon dioxide, how is it controlling the fire caused by petrol, diesel or electric short circuit? Because carbon dioxide forms a blanket-like cover on the fire and cuts off oxygen supply. Remember children, three requirements are there for the fire. One is a combustible substance, next is ignition temperature and third is oxygen. So carbon dioxide fire extinguisher is cutting off the oxygen supply, that's how the fire is put out. And in the earlier example we have seen when the fire is caught because of wood or paper or anything, then you can use water. So what is water doing there? Water is reducing the ignition temperature. So out of these three requirements, especially if you can reduce any one, at least ignition temperature either you reduce or you see to it that there is no oxygen supply, any one you can do to put off the fire. Okay. So most of the shopping malls, multi-storied buildings, schools all have fire extinguishers now. Even our school has fire extinguisher. Have you ever seen children? Now, fuels like wood, coal, petroleum release unburnt carbon particles which cause respiratory diseases like asthma. Incomplete combustion of fuels release carbon monoxide gas which is very poisonous, which can cause death also. And burning of the most of the fuels release carbon dioxide which can cause what is called as global warming, that is rise in temperature in the atmosphere. So you see that every summer the temperatures are high Okay, and the continuous global warming like this can cause melting of polar ice, so that can rise the sea level and flooding in the coastal areas, leading to a lot of destruction in those areas. Okay, so burning of coal and petroleum releases oxides of sulfur and nitrogen, which dissolve in rainwater, so that can cause acid rains. Acid rains are harmful to crops, soil, damages buildings, and so many problems with these. So burning of fuels causes pollution that can result in global warming, acid rains, isn't it? So acid rains are harmful also to organisms living in water. Okay, so what is the responsibility? We need to search for some other alternate source of fuel, है ना? So one more point is how much of heat energy is released from the fuel, that is called calorific value. 1 kg of fuel, how much of heat it releases, that is called calorific value, and hydrogen gas has the highest calorific value. Okay, now check your understanding here. What is combustion? What is ignition temperature? Try to answer these questions. Differentiate between rapid and spontaneous combustion. Okay, why we can't put off fire caused due to petrol by using water? These questions you try to answer, children. Right? Yeah, this was the slide which was required. So what are the characteristic features of a good fuel also? A good fuel is something which should be readily available, it should be cheap, it should be easy to store and transport, it should burn at a moderate rate, it should give a large amount of heat, it should not leave undesirable substances like soot and all residues, nahi rehna hai. It should not cause pollution. So with respect to diesel, petrol, I mean most of these parameters are working there. Diesel and petrol are easily available. I mean transporting is also easy. Okay, they produce good amount of heat and all, but they also cause a lot of pollution. So out of all these fuels, though hydrogen has the highest calorific value, hydrogen is not easily available nowadays for us to use in automobiles. So the best option as of now is CNG, that is compressed natural gas. Okay, so children, I think you have understood the chapter. Okay, so let us meet in the next session for something much more interesting, and till then study well children. Thank you.